If Netflix were to make a docu-series about your life so far, what would the title of episode 1 be?
There's a certain purpose that you get out of your life. I strongly believe we all are here for a godly purpose. We need to lead people to God. But it's sometimes so difficult to do with life challenges and our own trials and errors that we go through. And for me, like built from broken is I literally come from nothing.
You thought I was going to say, welcome to the crown that befits you. Well, welcome to the crown that befits you. This is not like the other intros that you guys expected on the other episodes, but I just want to take the time and just say that we have recognized that only 50.4% of you really enjoy the show, but you're not subscribed to the channel. So won't you guys just do us a little favor and please subscribe to the channel? Take a few moments of your time, because then it helps us know exactly where to improve the show. And yeah, we can learn a lot from you and your feedback. So we really appreciate it when you subscribe. Thank you so much. And yeah, subscribe. God still loves you. And if you don't subscribe, God still loves you. If Netflix were to make a docu-series about your life so far, what would the title of episode 1 be?
Built from broken.
Built from broken.
Built from broken. And that is such a, yeah, it's actually a song that I listened this week, and it just like it shook my heart.
Yes.
Built from broken.
Built from broken.
Yeah.
Where does it derive from? Like, how do you relate to that song?
Well, I'm going to sing you the song, but like there's a certain purpose that you get out of your life. I strongly believe we all are here for a godly purpose. We need to lead people to God. But it's sometimes so difficult to do with life challenges and our own trials and errors that we go through. And for me, like built from broken is I literally come from nothing. Like I come from such a broken household, no relationship with my parents, very abusive father. I basically had to look after myself since I was 14. I came to stay with my brother when I was matric. He basically put me through matric. He gave me my start in life. And there's a certain level of strength that you realize you have when you literally have nothing and you have to build yourself. You have to build your relationship. You have to build your character. You have to build who you are, because you live in such a framework of what you've been told you are. Like I was bullied at school. So yeah, I had to break down my whole framework, my framework about loving parents that I didn't have, my framework about what life is about, my framework about like literally everything, relationships, relationship with God, my own relationship with myself, which was very hard. I mean, I went through, for such a long period in my life, went through a stage where I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. I absolutely hated myself. Because I was bullied, I always believed like I'm ugly. Like when I looked in the mirror, and I told myself I was ugly. So obviously our mind hears, your body hears what you say. So you look in the mirror and that's what you see. And it's only when I like really started my relationship with God, which was in 2016, that I made a promise to myself that, and it started with small things, that just take a selfie of yourself every day. Take a selfie, look at that selfie, and look every day, look for something to compliment yourself about. So yeah, that was, yeah, Built from Broken is very profound for me. I resonate with it a lot.
Sure.
You said in the deep end.
We went straight to the deep end, and it's only the beginning. So when you also highlighted bullying,
Yeah.
it did hit a nerve, because you know, bullying comes in many forms. It could be with a parent, it could be at school, whatever environment, right?
Yeah.
So sharing your chapter in that part where you were bullied. Like, I know there's a thing of you believing, think you were ugly, but sure, someone is gonna say like, I'm going through the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
did you ever face even more deeper struggles than looking at yourself, thinking that I am really ugly, or sure, I'm just taken aback.
I think that you don't have to be, especially the days that the world that we're living in now, you don't have to be bullied in school to actually struggle with that.
Yes.
I think society, social media has created such a false concept of what beauty is about.
Mm.
That, I mean, what's shocking for me is to see little girls like already telling themselves that they're fat and they're ugly and they don't belong and they don't fit in. And I mean, where's that child gonna end up one day?
Yes.
So yeah, like I think bullying comes in all forms, and I do think that we need to invest in ourselves. We need to heal from our own trauma to
Mm.
get to a place where, as hard as it is, not let the outside, not let the world, not let social media impact how you see yourself.
Mm.
But yes, bullying can come from people, it can come from parents, it can come from social media, it can come in any form, literally any form there is.
Yes. So, experiencing all of that, and you said in 2016
Yeah,
you found, you established or found God,
yeah.
right? How did that come about? How did you and God meet in one place and said, I'm walking this journey with you?
I think back, I'm just going to go back when I was little.
100%.
I've always I've always felt that I have a very deep connection with God. I remember, I mean, especially with my dad being very abusive, I would go to sleep at night. I mean, a little girl who's supposed to be everything for a dad. And I remember going into my room always alone. I could feel at a very young age that I don't have love in my family.
Mm.
I don't have support. I don't have safety. I don't have security. I don't have that. So that made me, especially what the devil wants, make you
Yeah.
withdraw. But that also helped me at a very young age to already lay down the foundation of my relationship with God.
Mm.
Because I remember taking my Bible and I would always read Psalms 23.
Psalms 23.
As I walk through the valley of death, I shall fear no evil. And it's up until today one of my favorite verses in the Bible, my favorite chapter in the Bible. And I even have had it tattoo on my back.
Yes.
So that verse really carried me through all my life. But you grow up, you start. I went through such a phase where I was so angry at God. I remember I couldn't pray, I couldn't have a relationship with God, and I was so angry because why would He let that little girl go through what she had to go through?
Yes.
And the more I got angry, the more I withdraw from God. And I remember, fast forward, my whole life just, it was such a roller coaster. Like everything, work, relationships, everything. And I remember it was one Sunday in 2016, and I just drove and I was crying, and I was screaming in my car. I used to go on the highways and just scream and cry.
Yes.
And I just, all of a sudden, it was like the Holy Ghost just completely took over. I drove to the nearest church in Linwood, and I walked in one Sunday night and I stood at the back and I just burst out crying. And I can't tell you the feeling that on that exact moment, the feeling that I got, I could just feel like the Holy Spirit entering me. I had no idea who's in the church, who's around me. I didn't see anyone. I stopped. I think they were actually busy with the sermon already, and I opened the doors and I walked in and I just stood at the back. And I remember this girl walked up to me, and all she did was she just put her hand on my shoulder, and I just cried that whole
The whole
sermon.
sermon, yes.
And that's when I started reconnecting, because I felt the Holy Spirit there.
Wow.
And also one thing that that I actually heard someone said it, that in life I tried it both ways. I tried it with God and without God, and the one seems better. And that just stuck with me. Yeah.
The whole way through.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, when you entered that church,
Yeah.
and the lady who puts your hand,
Yeah.
have you ever met with her ever again?
We went for coffee afterwards. I can't remember her name. I think it's either Mariette or Michelle. It starts with the M.
Yes.
But we went for coffee afterwards, and like I went on my journey. She went on. I was a little bit in the church there.
Yes.
Then I moved to Centurion.
Of course.
Didn't go for church for such a long time. But since that day, like I drastically started investing in my journey with God. I started journaling, and since I started that, the way God speaks to me is through dreams and visions and stuff.
Yes.
So my cupboard are full of journals, and I just like I would sleep with my journal on my bed, and like God will wake me up at 3:00 in the morning, and I will just like write down what He told me in the
Yes.
dreams, in my dreams. So I have a very strong relationship with God, like very, very strong.
So, you having such a difficult, background in the beginning,
Yeah.
where it all started, do you think perhaps, I'm not saying God intended it to happen to you, but there was a reason why it had to happen in order for you to, so you can be an example for someone going through the exact same
I
thing?
am today, my next tattoo, like I'm full of tattoos. So my next tattoo that I actually do want to get is I want to fill this front sleeve.
Yes.
And all my tattoos have a very profound meaning. So the tattoo that I want to get next is like a honeycomb, all the little blocks
Honeycomb.
that fits into,
Yes.
and in the middle, I want to have the word reason. And the reason I want that tattoo is because while you are going through the most difficult trials, the most pain you can ever think of, while you are in that battle, you do not see anything else besides that battle.
Yes.
But a month, a year, 2 years, a few years, you look back, and it's like all these little pieces just like falling into each other. Like you had to go through that, you had to go through that. There was a lesson to learn, there was a blessing.
Wow.
So I am, with everything that I went through, I am so grateful. I told Jason, my boyfriend, the other day,
Yes.
like, I'm so grateful for what I went through. I'm
Thank you.
so freaking
Yes.
grateful, because I'm such a humble person. I'm such a down to earth person. Everyone that knows me, like, I just share love with everyone.
Yes.
I will get out at the petrol station and I will give the petrol attendants a hug. They all know me. Like at Diskim, everywhere I go, they actually call me the hugger. Like I love to share love with people, because you never know if your hug, if your just a little bit of care and love towards
Yes.
someone can save someone's life, like keeping that person from committing suicide. And I
Wow.
was there, and I have to open up about it. I tried to commit suicide in my life because I couldn't understand. I was trying everything to run away from my trauma, my pain, my past, my abusive dad, my whole childhood. I tried everything to run away from that. So you never know, like, what your words can mean to someone else.
Yes.
So I just love people.
Oh.
And if I didn't went through what I went through, I wouldn't have this care for people. I wouldn't be able to, I always say I wouldn't be able to walk into a room and can feel what people are going through, and who needs love and who needs care, and just be humble and love people.
Yes.
So I'm very grateful for what I went through.
It's a sense of like God is using you as a vessel.
Yeah.
It was like, exactly someone else's pain.
Yeah.
And you've overcome that. Now you can help someone else, bring someone else exactly out of that.
Yeah.
Sure, that's powerful.
Yeah. My one friend, she actually told me the one day that so many women opened, because of her industry, what she does, so many women opened up to her that they went through miscarriages and stuff like that. And she never knew what to tell them. Like, how does she comfort them? Because she doesn't know. She's never been through that.
Exactly.
And she went through a miscarriage.
Wow.
And although she was like very angry, and she experienced pain and everything and trauma, afterwards she realized Now she knows how to comfort those people. Now she
Wow.
can be there for those people and help them and tell them like it's gonna get better. Just like keep your faith strong.
Keep your faith strong.
Keep your faith strong.
Mm.
We do not know the bigger plan. We can try and think, we
do
can
not know the
try and
bigger plan.
analyze. We do not know the bigger plan. I watched a movie the one day like years ago. It's actually, you know, the gospel singer Jeremy Camp. He
I
wrote
don't
a
know.
he wrote a song, I Still Believe, but the song is
I
actually
still believe.
based, yeah, I Still Believe. The song is actually based on a real event that he went through. He met his wife, his first wife, at a very young age.
Yes.
The love of his life. They got
Jeremy Camp.
married. Yeah, Jeremy Camp. Got married, and 3 months later, his first wife died of ovarian cancer. On the day of the wedding, they had no idea, and what he had to go through. And so they made a movie about it. The movie is called, also like the song, I Still Believe.
I still believe.
Yo, I'm getting goosebumps. It's such a good movie.
Yes.
So during the movie, both the girl and him had a very strong relationship with God. And he was just like, his faith is so strong, she's going to get healed. He would not believe anything else. She's going to get healed. And she told him at one stage, she told him, like, what if I'm not supposed to be healed? What if I need to die because it's God's bigger plan? Because my death will influence so many other aspects of people around me that will lead people to God. Like, you never know
Yeah.
your trauma, your pain, your stuff that you're going through, what the bigger picture is.
True.
But if you keep your faith strong, God will give you, and I'm a living, walking testimony,
All that.
God will give you the strength to get through it. And it will not make sense to you. Stop trying to make sense of it, because it's not going to make, if you are going to try and make sense of it, you're putting God in a box, and God is not
Putting God in a
supposed
box.
to be in a box.
Yes. Huh. There's a bigger picture, especially if I'm gonna go watch that movie. I'm going to watch it, because especially if you're saying there's a bigger picture. What if she was supposed to, pass away?
Yeah.
And he is then like the testimony to show that he still believes, even though he lost the love of his life. Yeah, and it takes a lot of strength.
It's strength.
So God is even showing the type of strength in that person to say, this person can still trust me even through the pain. Wow. Okay. Strength. Okay. Now you show a lot of love, especially like now you shared, like, even if you don't know what other people are going through, you give them a hug, just to show that they are important. So if people were to meet you for the first time, what would they say? Who is Mercia?
I'm a light.
Yes.
I'm a light. That's what people always tell me, is that they just see this light, and I don't always feel it, because you always, like, sometimes you try and hide also your own struggles and stuff.
Yes.
But I think because I walk so strongly and deeply in my faith, that's what shines. Doesn't matter what I'm going through, that's what people sees.
Yes.
So I had people, like, I would do their makeup, and 3 years later would do their makeup again, and they would tell me, you're the reason that I decided to reconnect to God. Like, when I met you the first time, I went through such a difficult period, blaming God, and just hearing how you speak your own trauma and stuff that you went through, and to still have faith. Like, and that's my purpose.
Yes.
That is my purpose.
You're a light. Because it makes sense exactly what you're saying. Is it goes back to Jeremy Camp.
Yeah.
Now you live in that example, your own experience. So if people were to ask you to say, what field has God put you in? What is it that you do?
Let's ask what I don't do. Okay, so I wasn't fortunate to go study after school. I started working immediately.
Yes.
Very soon realized that I have a very strong connection for finance. So
nice.
My mom did finance, my brother did finance, so I didn't know anything else really. So I'm doing finance, and I'm very good at it. So for a very long period, I only went into finance. And when I turned 30, I think I went through such a sabbatical and midlife crisis, and I'm like, God, I cannot do finance for the rest of my life.
For the rest
You
of your
need to.
life.
I remember, and even if I go back to my journals sometimes, when I started journaling, like I've always been praying and I've always been asking God to put me in places where I can help people,
Yes.
where I can just share His love to people. Like I want to help people. That's my purpose.
Yes.
And sitting in an office with four walls, like it felt like my soul was dying. And I started studying makeup. I did my international course.
Yes.
I studied for a year and a half.
Wow.
I did bridal, I did avant-garde, I did airbrush, I did body paint, I did the whole course, the hair course, everything.
Everything.
And I absolutely love makeup. Like I mean, it's 11 years later, or
11
10,
years.
11 years, and I still get so excited. The brides always tell me, like, they don't even have to look in the mirror. They know exactly how they look before I'm even done. Like, I just love doing makeup.
Yeah.
Because I'm such a creative person. So each face is like a new canvas for me. And it's
Wow.
like I bond so well with my clients. I've been doing makeup at bridals and get invited to the wedding there, like with my work clothes, and they're like, "No, you're coming to the wedding." So many times that happened.
That happens.
Yeah. So I strongly believe that God placed me in this position because I prayed and I asked God, I want to help people. I don't know
Yes.
what to do. I only have a finance background. What do I do? When I started like going into makeup and stuff, I always asked God for 3 confirmations. I didn't want to rush into something, and I remember I got 3 confirmations that I need to do makeup, and also the 3 confirmations even confirmed the college that I had to study. I can't remember
Wow.
the 3, but I always 3 is my godly number, so that's why I have
You even have the three on the
three
thing.
swallows. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, that's my godly number. So I always pray and I ask God for 3 confirmations.
Yes.
So I went into makeup, did my course, my international course, finished first in my class, and I absolutely love it. I love it. So I'm still doing finance part time,
course.
full time. I actually work with a friend of mine.
Yes.
I'm doing makeup. And I'm also the marketing manager of Phoenix, the clothing brand
Yes.
that you know about.
Of course.
Yeah.
So chat to us about we're gonna touch on all of it, right? Because it's amazing, right? Because with finance, you had the finance background
Yeah.
with like your mom, your brother,
Yeah.
like that's what you stuck to, and then you stepped into like makeup,
Yeah.
and then now Phoenix. Like Phoenix, is it also just a thing of because I know you are very active in the gym,
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
fitness. Were you always in the gym? Like, how did this all start? You being in the gym, then I'm like, okay, going from gym to now having doing marketing for Phoenix. Like,
Well, I've always loved fitness wear.
yes,
Like that's my guilty pleasure is like fitness wear. And I remember when I was 17 years old, yeah, me and a few friends were sitting around a swimming pool,
Mhm.
and they asked me what my biggest dream is. And I still remember telling them that I want to be a sports model. Like I want to be a fitness sports model.
yes.
And I had no self-image. Like I could not even think of getting on a stage.
Can I stop you?
Yeah.
Was this before the time where you're experiencing the bullying, and or is this
This
like
was
after?
just when I finished, basically in my 17 years, just the year before
Yes,
your
yes.
matric. It was more or less that time.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
yes.
It was in school. Yeah. Anyway, so at that stage, like didn't even think of getting on a stage. And I mean, that was in 2000, was it 2002 or 2003? I can't remember now. I think 2002. And years later, I decided that I am going to do that. I'm not going to let go of that dream. Like I am going to be a sports model.
Yes.
So I decided to start competing in also in 2016. I didn't compete in 2016.
Yes.
I woke up the whole year of 2016. Every morning when I look in the mirror, I told myself, 2017, next year, you are getting on stage. Doesn't matter come high or low water, you are getting
Being
on stage.
Yes.
And I just told myself for the whole year, 2016, I'm getting on stage, I'm getting on stage. I did my first competition in 2017. I competed a few years. I actually achieved what I wanted to achieve. I told myself that I want my international pro card. I want to be on international level sports model, the whole body, the look, everything.
Wow.
Lost a lot of muscles by now, but that time I achieved it. I just got too busy with work and everything.
Yes.
So like, I competed a few years. I competed overseas. I had the experience. I had such an amazing experience, met the most amazing people. I was very blessed to be able to go and compete overseas. I competed in Cyprus, got my pro card. And I think when lockdown happened, like I had a very deep one-on-one with God. Yeah, and I realized that fitness and bodybuilding became an obsession for me.
Wow.
A very unhealthy obsession. I realized that that is what my life was about. I started neglecting God, and I'm grateful now for COVID because I realized that in COVID because we had so much time. I remember like I couldn't wait to go to sleep, to wake up at 4 o'clock just so I can be in the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. I trained every single day, 7 days a week for 2-3 hours.
7 days a week.
7 days a week for 2-3 hours. So bodybuilding became very toxic for me, and that's my journey. That's what I need to realize, that I had to realize at that time. So after lockdown, I decided that I was actually supposed to compete first in Italy in 2020.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't knew that time like how long lockdown was going to be.
Of course.
And then Italy got cancelled, and I prepped right through the year. Till September, I was supposed to compete in Thailand in September,
Yes.
and that got cancelled.
Wow.
And after that, I took a step back and I just evaluated my life. Like, where am I going? What do I want in my life? I'm never someone that's going to neglect myself and gain a lot of weight. I'm never.
Yeah.
I'll always try and have the image of healthy fitness and stuff, but there needs to be a balance. And I lost my balance.
Yes.
So, and I think everyone just I'm not against bodybuilding. I absolutely love bodybuilding. I still do a lot of makeup, spray tanning, everything for bodybuilders.
Yes.
It's an amazing sport because it does teaches you discipline, and it teaches you strength on a whole other level.
Yes.
But for me, I had to go through that journey where I had to realize, like, where's my priority? What do I prioritize the most?
Yes.
So what I took a step back. Haven't competed ever since. Tried to stay in shape, but I'm also where I had a very toxic mentality. I would fall into depression if I couldn't get to the gym.
Wow.
Yeah. Where now, if I get to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, like that's a win for me. Like that's a win for me, and I'm happy.
Yes.
I'm much more happy about it.
Wow.
So I think people just need to evaluate what they want out of their own lives, because I mean, at the end of the day, there's still life after bodybuilding.
Yes.
There's still people, there's still relationships, there's still friendships, there's still get-togethers besides bodybuilding. What I do feel that I missed out on.
Yes.
And I actually started neglecting people because of my journey with bodybuilding. And I mean, what does God want for us? We need to connect with people. We need to build relationship. So if you are prepping for a show, you literally just live for your next meal. Like, when is it time to eat? When can I eat? Like, you don't go to people, you don't see people, you don't go to Bryce because you don't want to see other food around you. So that's what I needed to realize. But I'm grateful that I went into that because it also taught me a lot. It taught me
Yeah.
discipline. It taught me strength. It like I fulfilled a year, like for so many years, like that's what I wanted to do.
Mm.
And I got the courage and I got on stage and I competed and like
You achieved it.
yeah, I achieved it. Yeah.
Sure. It's lockdown is a very, it's not a sensitive topic. Well,
Yeah.
sensitive for sensitive topic for some people.
Yeah.
But in your story, I see beauty in it because it's gonna lead me to my next question, right?
Yeah.
It's like you had such a deep connection with God,
Yeah.
but then he's like he stepped in and said, "Let's correct your steps,"
Yeah.
right? So then now this leads me to my next question: is you doing finance,
Yeah.
makeup, you know, doing marketing for a sports brand?
Yeah.
How do you invite God into your daily life? Like, how are you able to live? It's like you're basically like a living testimony, like
Yeah.
in a ministry. So how,
Yeah.
what do you do to invite God into your space when you're doing makeup? When you're at the gym, what do you
Mm.
do?
I love how I connect with God. People have their own relationship, and I
Mm,
think people need to invest the time to realize what their relationship with God is,
mm.
because we so often try to base it on someone else's journey or someone else's relationship, and
Yes.
God. My relationship with God is through my worship. I always play worship. I will go train and I will listen to worship. So I love listening. If I'm seeing my clients, my worship is playing in the background. So many people walk into my space and they experience so much peace in my
You invite even God into
yeah,
doing like your field, like you play
yeah,
worship. Wow.
yeah. I love my worship.
Yes.
Like I absolutely love my worship. Um, Phoenix, our clothing brand,
Yes.
the word phoenix, we actually prayed about it for so long, and
Mm,
the reason why we chose the phoenix is rising from the ashes.
yes.
So even Phoenix, the brand, I mean, everyone involved in Phoenix are such godly people and mentors for each other,
Yes.
and we just want to build people up.
What I get from this is yourself, your team, everyone around you is not chasing sort of like the worldly perspective, like
No,
that
no,
that stuff is a side effect
yeah,
from, but like you guys, it's like you seek God first
we see
and
God
then everything
first.
else is
Yeah,
added.
yeah,
So it's like really nice to know. Oh, it's great to see like you first living in purpose. It's like you putting
yeah,
God
yeah,
first and saying, God, what is it that you want me to do? What is
yeah,
the reason
yeah,
behind my battles?
yeah.
What is the next step from here? It's like that's what you guys go to God first before
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. I think people also misjudge the fact that um, if you do want to try, because of the world that we're living in, if you do want to try something in a godly way, like the devil attacks. The devil is real. I heard someone say to that he changed his life not because he saw God's eyes, but he saw the devil's eyes.
Wow.
And because of that, if there's so much evil in the world, there must be the opposite in good.
And good. Yes.
Yeah. So we also go through a lot of trials,
Yes.
a lot of errors, but how we stand together to just face it, each and every battle, is just amazing. I think God has placed all of us, and especially the people in my life. That's also something that I wanted to get to. Like, I don't really have family, so
Yes.
so I'm basically alone, me, myself, and I have Jason, but
Jason.
go for Jason. But God showed me that family does not always have to be blood related,
It
and
doesn't always have to
that
be.
is profound.
That's me. It doesn't have to be blood
It
related.
doesn't have to be blood related.
Okay, so with the family topic, right? Because you do get people, orphans who have are good
Yeah,
examples that are still living in it. living in success,
Yeah.
but are not necessarily living in a godly success,
Yeah.
right? So, did you find that, okay, if your mom or dad was not around, there was there's a difference between where you have maybe your friend who has both mom and dad,
Mm, mm.
and then when they start to do life, things come easier to them. When they want to
Yeah.
try
Yeah.
something, it's a lot easier because they
Yeah.
have a sense of who they are.
Yeah.
And then, for
Yeah.
example, in your situation or circumstance, like there's no mom or dad there
Yeah.
around.
I always say I don't have a plan B, but
Yes.
that also forced me in life to be such a fighter, to
Wow.
get up when things get tough. I get on my feet and I go on.
Yes.
I don't have a plan B. I don't have a mom or a dad's house to fall back on.
Yes.
Either I make it in life or I
Or you
fail,
fail.
and that kept me going. That pushed me my whole life. I do not have a plan B.
Yes. Not a lot of people get that. Unfortunately, I hope they get to watch this video and
Mm.
say, listen, yeah, I can do this. If there's no plan B,
Yeah,
then it means that plan A is always going to work no matter
yeah,
how
yeah.
much
And you make it work.
and you make it
You
work.
make it work.
Okay.
If your first plan A doesn't work, you try another plan A.
Another plan. There's no
Another
such thing as a
plan.
plan B.
No, you try another one. Plan B is something that you fall back on, like you built your own life.
100%. So if plan A has,
I see plan B
yes.
that's your comfort zone.
Ooh,
So if you fall back to your plan B, you fall in your comfort zone and nothing grows in a comfort zone. So you push yourself for plan A. If your first plan A don't work, you create another plan A. But there's no plan B because as soon as you go to a plan B, you fall in a comfort zone.
is the comfort zone. I've
Yeah.
never heard something like that before. That's it's the comfort zone. So
Mm.
if plan A doesn't work, you find another plan A.
Yeah.
And you find another plan A.
Yeah.
But then if you give up, then plan B, that's the comfort zone
Yeah.
where there's no fruit, nothing
Mm.
grows in it. Okay. Now, obviously the show is called The Crown That
Yeah.
Befits You, right? So what does the crown that befits you mean to you? And what crown are you still chasing? Well, chasing, I said this in another episode. I need to change that. What crown are you still seeking, like, especially in the kingdom of God?
In the kingdom of God.
What's your own life, like anything?
That actually takes me back to a course I did last year at church. The course is captivating. It was for women, and at the end of the course, they gave all the women like received a small crown, and that was so profound for me because we are God's, we are His daughters, we are His
Yes.
princesses, we are so yeah, that just like came up to me when I think we all, if you live in your faith, you already received your crown.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what crown are you still seeking?
I don't really know like how to put it. Seek in what? In what way?
Are you anything? Are you okay? You're gonna sit
The crown, no, I know exactly. The crown that I want to receive is the crown of being a mom.
the crown of being a
The
mom.
crown of being a mom.
It's
Jason, be prepared. Take note.
the crown of being a
The
mom.
crown of being a mom. Yeah.
I think that's beautiful because if you weren't, you never had the mom like that that you always deserved.
No.
Now, when you now bring life,
Yeah.
God has now given you that platform to say now you can be.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think the crown of being a mom, that's the second biggest blessing that I think
Yes.
someone, I think the first one is realizing why you were created for God, like
Okay.
starting your purpose
Yes.
and living in your purpose. And I think the second one is definitely becoming a mom or a dad. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, in this part of the show, the episode, I have 3 questions. So the
Okay.
last guest who was here wrote down 3 questions
Yeah.
that they want to ask you so
Okay.
that they can learn and see, okay, this is what I can take.
Yeah, but
Uh,
they had no idea it was me coming. It was
they,
just for
it's
anyone.
just for anyone,
Okay.
all right? So it's just 3 questions. Can be honest as possible. Everything, like, just put it on the table. Okay. But they really, the first
I
question
hope I
says,
can answer them.
you will. He asked, I think because it's based on his, he or she's, where they were at the time. So they
Yeah.
said, how are you really?
How am I really?
Yes.
That is such a good question
Yes.
because we are taught like, I'm okay, but does someone really say how they are?
They don't.
They don't.
They don't,
Like,
yes.
I'm going through a period now where I'm actually not okay. Like,
Wow.
on a emotional level, for example, I know how to handle it. Where in
Yes.
the past I didn't know. Like, and I
100%.
would fall into depression. But I think the battle that I have now is, am I good enough? And I know I am,
Mm.
but the devil knows where your weak points are.
Yes.
And we go through seasons where we are tested and everything, and that's something that I'm being attacked on now, like my worth. I know I'm worthy, but I
Yes.
still get myself asking if I'm worthy. Yeah.
Wow. When you say the devil knows our weak points, people actually, I actually struggled with that. Maybe you can also teach me. Is the devil knowing your weak points is a very
Yeah.
good point. Is what tools did you get from God or from someone who taught you on how to overcome when you're going through the time when the devil, not the devil, but when you're struggling to overcome your weak points, especially when God has placed
Yeah.
such a great promise over your life.
A weapon that I use is prayer. And I
Prayer.
think people misjudge how powerful prayer are, and they can go test it themselves.
Yes.
Wake up in the morning, and when you feel that you do not have the energy to get out of bed, to get going, just ask God for strength.
Mm, mm,
And you will realize later in the day that you have no idea how you got through the day, but you went through it. Just, if you don't have words to pray, just ask God for strength.
just
God
okay.
knows our hearts. He knows our battles. He knows how we are tempted. He knows what we are fighting. He knows what we are going through.
Yes.
And even on the days that you don't have a prayer to say, tell him that. Say, God, I don't even have something to pray, but you know what I need. Let your kingdom come. Let your will be done.
Okay. That is
Yeah.
amazing.
I've overcome, just to go into the depression
Mm,
part a little bit. I struggled severely with depression,
yes.
so badly that I could not even get out of bed. I would
Mm, mm,
literally spend 2-3 days in bed. And I overcame my depression on my knees on the ground with my hands lifted. And day after day, and I prayed and I told God, I am not going to spend my life like this.
yes.
I overcame depression without any medication, without going to any institute or whatever,
Power.
with prayer. And each day got better. And I am basically depression free for almost 11 years now.
11 years.
Where I would get depression so badly that I tried to commit suicide.
For 11 years. So there's power in prayer.
Yeah,
We should never underestimate the
never
power in prayer.
underestimate that. Never. Even if you
Mm.
don't have the words, it doesn't always have to be this long prayer. Like, even if you don't have words, tell God, I don't have words, but you know what I need.
You know
You
what
know
I mean.
best. Just
Wow.
don't ever give the devil a chance
Ramon.
to to tell you that prayer isn't worthy, that prayer means nothing,
Mm.
because it does.
It really does.
It does.
Wow.
And I say again, people can test it, believers, non-believers. If you
Hmm.
get to a day where you do not have energy, just ask God for strength.
Just ask God for
Just
strength.
ask God for strength. Test it yourself.
Wow, that's amazing. And then the second question the person asked is, what are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for my past, and I can say that without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Wow.
Because like I said, I would not be the person if I didn't have to go through each and everything that I went through. I would not be the person I am today.
You would not be there.
Yeah. I'm grateful for every little bit of pain, every trauma, everything that I went through in my life.
You are a walking testimony. Like Jason. You are a walking testimony. Like, it's amazing to see everything, like from the beginning, the process.
And you've known me for so long.
I didn't even know half the stuff, and I've known you for so long. And it's a lot of like, you don't, it makes me feel so grateful to know that I've known you for so long. And then I might have gone through the exact same thing, but I wouldn't have known if I had asked. You know, what I'm learning from this is take time to know other people. Besides like putting yourself first.
Reach out to people, but also within yourself. Just to touch on the topic about your own relationship with God. Is I told Jason, I think last week, we had a conversation about relationship with God. And I told him, I actually prayed about it. And I prayed the evening, and the next morning I was standing in the kitchen, and God gave me a vision. And the vision I saw a boardroom, and the CEO was standing in the front, and he had his whiteboard, and he was writing down the business plan for the people, and the directors and everyone was sitting around the corner, and everyone was screaming. And I used Jason as the example, and I told him, like, you sitting at the end, the CEO is there, you sitting this side, and the directors and everyone like is sitting around the table, and this one is screaming this, and that one is screaming that. How can you hear what that guy is saying in the front? So I think for although we need to reach out to people, to be there for people, to be the light for other people, to live out God's kingdom and lead people to God, like for your own growth, spend time alone. And I told him, cut down and cut off everything that you listen to. Even if you go through 1 day a week or 1 day a month or 1 day every second week, turn the music down, turn everything down, and just listen what's going on in your...
Cut down the noise.
Cut down. I actually made a caption about it. I said, silence the noise. Oh, what did I say? Silence the noise and raise the silence. Yeah, or quiet the noise and raise the silence. Yeah, those were the words that came up.
Silence the noise.
Silence the noise and raise the silence. And I would sometimes, if I'm not listening to my worship, I would drive, and I just like feel this urge to just be quiet in my head, and I will turn my music down. And for a whole day, I would not even listen to music or anything. And it's just me and God. How do we want him we want him to reach out to us? If we don't allow him, he's going to keep, I always tell Jason, he's going to keep knocking. He keeps knocking, but there. God is not a God that's going to enforce him in our lives.
Yes.
Like, that's part of the reason why we have free will. Is like we need to choose him. If you are in a relationship, you're not going to force your partner to love you.
Yeah.
You want your partner to love you. And that is the loving God that we have. He wants us to choose him. So he's going to keep knocking. He's going to keep sending people on our path to show that he's real, to show his light, to share testimonies. But we need to find our own journey with him.
Yes.
And he's never going to forget about us. But we need to open that door for him to come in.
Yes.
I listened to a podcast of Lee Strobel. I don't know if you know Lee Strobel. Did you read the book, The Case for Christ?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
We have the book, haven't read it. I started reading it a little bit, but I watched a podcast that he had. Lee Strobel, he was the atheist.
Okay, no, it's not the one.
Yeah, Lee Strobel was the atheist. He was an atheist. And his wife turned to God. So his wife became Christian. And he was so angry. And he went on such a mission to prove that God is a myth, Jesus didn't exist, like all of this is a fairy tale.
Wow.
And one thing after another, he just, as much as he tried to prove God wrong, he just received physical evidence like Jesus existed, the Dead Scrolls, everything, like everything that he received, that he, after he studied to prove that God is not real,
Yes.
he gave his heart to God. So that's why he wrote the book, The Case for Christ.
The Case of Christ.
Because everything that he studied, all the evidence, everything is in there.
So out of all of him trying to prove that God doesn't exist,
He proved to himself that God is real. And he was 100% atheist.
God is amazing. He works in weird ways.
And it's never our timing. It's his timing.
It's his timing. It's actually going to now link to, I feel like these questions was meant for today because his last question says, and I'm so surprised. Sorry, give me a moment because it's just like, what would you ask Jesus if he was next to you?
What would I ask Jesus
if he was next to you?
Yeah, that's a question to think about. Like, what would you ask if you have one question to ask him? I honestly can't think of something now. I mean, you can't, like, obviously he loved us. He's gay. Like,
Yes.
I think I would ask him, like, why did it have to take you so long to come again? Like, really? Couldn't it have been like a few years ago? Or like,
Yes.
yeah, so why
out.
so long? Like, why did the world had to turn so ugly?
Yeah, what was the reason?
What was the
it?
reason? Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. Like you want to know, break down the methods or
Yeah.
sure that would be.
Yeah.
But our time will come.
Our time will come.
This is amazing. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Now, the great part is that you're gonna write 3 questions.
Okay.
For the next guest.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna ask them the same questions that you wrote down. Not the same questions, but your own questions.
Yeah.
And I'll ask them and they'll answer, and we can find out what they think regarding to your questions. Okay.
Okay. What can I ask?
Okay. No, it's fine. I'm gonna give you the notebook.
Okay.
And then you can just write it down. I'm gonna disappear.
Okay. Cool. Perfect.